If you don't know how to maneuver while working these 9 to 5 jobs, you're going to be just like them. You're going to be just like those zombies in a zombie-like state, in a mediocre mindset, in a low vibrational place. These 9 to 5 jobs, if you're not careful, they will put you in that state. They will treat you like you could just shake your head. That's how low that they will treat you. The thing about it is, it's not gonna always look like how bad they treating you. You ever seen, well, here's an analogy, and you probably heard this analogy. A frog hops in a pot of water. The person that has the pot on, this person's a frog catcher that cooks frogs or make frog soup or what have you. Now to trap that frog, that person has to entice the frog, has to lure that frog in to where the frog will feel comfortable, and then they got him. The frog is cooked, either cooked, fried, or baked, or all the above. Now they know that you can't turn the heat on full blast right away, because that frog gonna be like, oh, I see all that smoke, all that fog, all that steam in that pot or in that object. There's no way. I'm going to ribbit to somewhere else, to someplace safe, to my secret hideout, to my space. Now, so they know that. So a frog catcher is going to try to study you, is going to try to, see how they can lure that frog. Now, you compare that to an interview. When you're being interviewed, you're being studied. Best believe you're being studied. They're like, okay, I'm going to call you within a couple of days or what have you. And then they see, okay, is this person a good fit? How can this person be useful in this company, in this position? Okay. So then you get the job, and your first week is great. Seems like everyone is helpful. You're being welcomed. Hey, depending on the job, they may have you feel like almost a celebrity. But then after a while, all of a sudden things change. And it happens out of nowhere. It happens it can happen so fast that it can smack you right in the face. Kapow! You're like, what in the WTF? What has just happened? I was getting the hours that I needed, that not only that I needed, that I wanted. They had me like 32 to 42 hours a day, sometimes close to 50 hours. So I'm making these, somewhat decent amount of money, doable money. And all of a sudden now, they give me 15 hours, 10 hours, almost 8 hours. Now, all through that, leading up to that, they'll try to get to know you, try to, ask certain questions like, where are you from? What do you like to do? What do you do on the weekends? Right? Now, if you like me, I don't give that too much information like that. Like, I'm pretty much there to work. I can, I don't mind, conversing at work. But I'm, there to work, serve the customers, and then get on with my own agenda. I have my own agendas to attend to. Now, when you don't attend to their agendas, then the hate starts. Then the slick remarks, then the extra watching you closely and then reporting to shift leads or managers on, oh, you might have came a few minutes late, you might have called, or say if you didn't have time to call. Then they start to report when before they didn't do no reporting at all. It seems like a no big deal, but all of a sudden it seems like, oh, it's an issue. Now there's a problem now. Or if you're working but you're not on schedule, all of a sudden they want to know, oh, why are you there? And you come to find out all of a sudden now co-workers and even shift leads, but they're not leading that shift that day. They want to know why, you're there and trying to clock you. And you wondering, why are you clocking me? What's the point? If I'm there, if I'm not scheduled, obviously a management wanted me to show up, and that the help is wanted, or else I would not be there. A person cannot just show up out of nowhere for working, just clock in. The person has to get permission and able to work and able to come in. People don't just show up if they're not scheduled. There's always a reason, but regardless of that, then you get hated on that. Then they want to all of a sudden verify with the management, and who knows what they said. Who knows, they could have said, oh, we don't need any help. There's actually a lot of workers. We don't need help. And then the manager, will be like, oh, okay. But then, just let that person, team member know that they don't have to, don't clock in. And then they refer back, then they refer back to you. And like, oh, the manager says, the manager said not to clock in. That's one of the examples. Another example, too, is when they give you tasks that they don't want to do, knowing that they were assigned to do that task, and then they try to make you feel that you need to do that task. So these are just the examples that's the examples of they turned up the heat, after you got comfortable in the tub, frog thinking it's a nice hot tub, right? And then they slowly turning up the heat. And if you're not careful, then you're gonna be cooked from the legs down. You're gonna be cooked, and you don't even know it. All of a sudden, you try to leap out. Oh, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done with this. Next thing you know, you find out you don't have no spring in your step. You don't have no legs. You know. And then you find yourself sinking, as a frog down to the bottom of the water, and you already cooked. It's too late. It's too late now. Why? Because you didn't got comfortable. We can't afford to be that. We can't afford to be that frog. Especially not in these times. They'll pull the rug right. You get the rug pulled right underneath you. So if you're not careful, then that's what could happen. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and comment below. What are your experiences? And better yet, what are you doing about making sure that you don't end up like that frog? What plan do you have? Something to think about.